wig. Your wig, girl. This is what they call a shake and go. Hello there, I'm Litha. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a space girl and a card puller, aka an astrologer and a tarot reader. And I like to craft and keep my house to decompress from the emotional and energetic readings I do throughout the week. And this is my little space on the internet to do that. Welcome in. Well, first of all, join me in pissing off my husband because he hates when people hold these microphones and talk like this. What's up, Goose? I am losing my mind. It doesn't help that Saturn has been in my first house for the past
3 years.
If you don't know what that means, that's totally fine. I will explain it to you. Post haste. I don't even know. Here's the thing. I am in a time of waiting, which I don't like to do.
I hate waiting.
I'm not good at it. I'm not a patient person by any means. I'm not ashamed to say that. Don't look at that. Look at this. Don't look at that. Look at this. Okay. This was a very unfortunate thing that happened, but I got another one over here, so we're fine. I am in a phase in my life where I am getting ready to TTC, means try to conceive. There's been a long lead up to this, and I'm gnawing at the bars of my enclosure. A couple of years ago, my husband and I decided that we wanted to have children after all. And then a lot of stuff happened that meant that we couldn't do that right away. Now it's looking like we are now finally able to go forth and what do the Christians say? Be fruitful and multiply. But there's 2 more months before we can do that because I've been on a medication that I need to get out of my system completely to do that. So yeah, the spring couldn't come soon enough, and I'm losing my mind. I've been in that anticipation period. I feel like I'm on a roller coaster. The roller coaster is going tick, 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 and you know at some point it's going to stop and drop, right? And I'm waiting for the stop and the drop. And the stop and the drop for me is just like getting through the first month. We're about to get really personal here. I hope you're okay with that. I just want to rip the Band-Aid off. That sounds so romantic. I just want to rip the Band-Aid off because I don't know what's waiting for me on the other side. Are we about to enter into a multi-year long fertility struggle? Don't know. Is it going to happen on the first try and then I'm going to be like, uh-oh. Wait, I did ask for this.
My mom and dad are gonna be so mad.
I don't know. And the lead up to that has been in a 2-year long wait. And it hasn't been, okay, well, we'll try in 2 years. It's been,
Okay, maybe in like 3 months? No, wait, something happened. We have to push it back. 6 months? No, wait, something happened. We have to push it back. Maybe next spring.
I'm crashing out. This is my first time using this equipment that I have. So if it doesn't work, this could be a very safe crash out container for me, actually. So anyway, I have been doing things to help me in the waiting period, in the liminal period. As an astrologer, it sucks because you're not exempt from the planets fucking with you. And I'm not exempt from the planet Saturn fucking with me. Can you hear this, Goose? I'm talking into the mic, my shake and go mic. I'm talking into it just for you. Put it on my lapel? Well, I don't have one. Now that it's actually looking like for the first time in 2 years, we are the closest we've ever been to being able to try. My fertility doctor says, yeah, it both feels so close and yet so far. To keep from losing my mind and to get through this time before Saturn gets the fuck out of the part of my chart where this has been affecting me, I've been doing things to keep my hands busy. Also because the world is on fire. That really isn't an also, it's just kind of an always there and always in the forefront of my mind, so it feels weird saying also the world is on fire. Pluto is in Aquarius, Mercury is about to be eliminating, and I need to keep my hands busy. I've been doing many things, and many of them have had to do with a non-existent bebe.
Where is Bebe's chamber?
So, I'm going to share with you some of the things that I've been doing, crafting or otherwise, and hang out with me while I share them with you. And then we're going to get into a little bit of crafting, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Saturn and why I'm losing my mind and why he's the reason for the season. I don't have a sponsor for today's video, but if I did have a sponsor today, it would be my last fucking nerve.
All right, me too, girl.
You can use my code for 30% off the next time you crash out in front of strangers on the internet. Let's get into it. The things I'm doing to get through this strange liminal time where Saturn has been, in a very loving way, handing me my tush. I've been crafting, I've been keeping my hands busy, as I said before, and I've been thrifting. The first thing I've been doing is I have been thrifting fabric. I've been getting better at sewing, although I did break a needle in 3 parts yesterday.
This is standard horror movie stuff.
My husband and I found all the parts. I stole this thing from him. I was literally about to say it's a metal detector. It's a magnet. What the fuck? It helped me to find the 2 out of the 3 pieces of the needle that went flying. The only part that's missing is the pointy end. So if you see that, let me know. Anyway, I have this pattern that I found through Morgan from Couple of Goofs, and she got it from the person who created the pattern, Rosie Caldwell. I have her pattern for the boxy toiletry bag. I have not sewn it yet, but what I have done, I found this fabric on eBay. I found this crib sheet from the 80s, Winnie the Pooh, and it's so cute. It's so cute. Yes, I have already cut it apart to make it into panels to quilt. So I've been quilting it, and I'm going to make it into a little bag. This is where things get a little witchy and maybe a little weird. I want to make a bag, trying to conceive, TTC bag, for all of my fun stuff, including things like this. I don't know why they're not cuter than this. If I'm gonna have to buy one of these things, you're easy peasy. Like things like this, the test strips, all of my fertility tracking things. Is this weird? Is this creepy to be like, I want to use the, oh God, maybe it is creepy. Am I one of the Sanderson sisters? I thought it would be like a really cool little like spell, basically, to use a thrifted crib sheet to hold those items in. When I say it out loud, I already sound a little unhinged. Are you concerned? Are you wanting to run away? A crib sheet? Y'all, hold on a second. I gotta show you this. I don't think people realize how big crib sheets are. That's 1 panel. I got 1 panel, 2 panel, 3 panel, 4 panel. Because yes, I am making 2 bags. One of my friends is currently preggers, so I'm gonna make her a little baggie to like, cause this goes with, I think this goes with her whole like vibe of her like her future baby's nursery. I don't know why, I haven't seen it, but I just have a feeling. Anywho, but you get, and I've got a ton of fabric left over still. I mean, not a ton, but I got a pretty damn good amount of fabric left over. Is it a little fussy? Because you have to iron, to do something quilted anyway, you have to iron it down to this fusible fleece. And it doesn't fully love it, so it is a little wrinkled in parts. So I did the best that I could, and I'm gonna quilt it down, and when I do that, it does get a little fussy with me. I'm gonna show you. I'm not gonna lie, it gets a little fussy, but are we looking for perfection? I don't think so. This is a thrifted, oh, it says focusing failed. Okay, can you see it now? This is a thrifted fabric. I'm just gonna, you know, it's cute, it's lived in, it's loved, it's got a little bit of like, just little snags and stuff from previous wear, but no stains, and it's really cute. And it says, the best friends in the world. So this is one of the first things I'm doing is, and I have not finished it yet, as you can see, but I plan on making a cute little boxy toiletry bag that looks like this. Yeah, just like to put all of my TTC stuff in. I hate TTC, but that's what it is. Moving on. So that's the first thing that I'm working on. I'm hoping to get this done soon. I've never sewn a zipper before, and I broke the needle the first time. I was literally like, okay, you know what? I'm overthinking this. It's going to be fine. The needle's not going to hit the metal part of the zipper anywhere. We're okay. So snap. So I'm a little nervous to continue, but we shall see. The next thing I'm doing, hold please. Is it my happy place? Not fully. R.I.P. JoJo. Now, if you thought to yourself, Litha, that little bit of crafting, that's not bad.
That's not unhinged.
Sweet children, we've barely scratched the surface. Let us continue. This one takes a little bit of explaining. In addition to sewing, I like to crochet. I've had this. I don't talk to a lot of people about this because this is kind of ending up being a little bit of a vulnerable video for me. One of the things that I have always imagined since, like, for the past couple of years since realizing that we wanted to have kids is, like, the type of nursery that we would do. Because here's the thing. I might only have one. I might be a one and done kind of gal. Never say never, but, you know, I'm 36 and I don't know if I'm gonna, if we get one, I don't know if I'm gonna want to do that again. The closer I get to 40, everybody's different. Women in their 40s can have babies. I just don't think I'm gonna be one of them. Something in my gut is telling me that. Anyway, so if it does really end up being one and done, I want to go ham crazy. I want to have the time of my life, enjoying every moment of it. So of course, like, I'm gonna go bonkers McGee on the nursery, right? And I've just had this in my head this whole time that, like, the type of nursery that I would want to do, I'd want it to be gender neutral and very colorful. I don't want beige or gray anything. I want color everywhere. I love color. Despite the fact that I have black walls here, I love the color black because it allows other colors to pop. So anyway, I just had this thought of the Muppets being such a big part of my childhood, and Sesame Street and PBS being such a big part of my childhood. And I really want to do. Why am I talking? And see, that's so weird. If and when it happens, I'm hoping to do a Muppet Show Rainbow Connection nursery with some Sesame Street thrown in. Oh wait, I did thrift something with this. Fuck yeah. Oh, hold on, I'll get there. Don't know if that will actually happen because, you know, people, they love names, they love themes, they love this, they love that, and then they get pregnant and they're like, doesn't fit our kid. But there's just something in my brain that says that this is hopefully going to be the nursery theme. So anyway, I got colors that represented to me like classic Sesame Street colors. I've been crocheting these granny squares. Something really popular in the 70s was just like the classic crochet granny square multicolored throw, like this, a ton of them in a throw. And I want a little bit of like a 70s, 80s nod in our nursery. So it feels so weird talking about having a nursery where we're not pregnant yet. But when I saw a couple of goofs do it, I was like, okay, I don't feel crazy. I crocheted these granny squares. I did not weave in the ends yet because they're not done. I have so many more to make. But I have these granny squares. All loops and threads because I'm allergic to wool. So I am an acrylic friendly space here. There's also a ton of dog hair on them right now because my dog stuck her big noggin in the bag. Mustard. It's really beautiful blue called Sapphire, the Cookie Monster. Oscar the Grouch. This color is Ivy. Last but certainly not least, Elmo. And also these colors go for like Bert and Ernie and the whole gang. And this is Red Hot with a side of dog hair. I want the prominent color to be mustard, I think. And then what I want to do, I'm so excited to show this to you. I'm so excited. Also from eBay, I found this flat bed sheet from, I think it said the 70s? I can't remember. But it's Sesame Street. It's all the characters going to sleep. Going sleepy town. All the faves. Bert and Ernie, who are gay and very, very much in love. Oscar, which is this is my aura. Or whatever the youngins say nowadays. Cookie Monster as well, though. Like, of course. Big bird in their nest. Isn't that cute? Also, I love the idea in the future of putting our kids initial on their bed like that. That's so cute. My plan is, originally it was to make this just into one of those like 70s style throws. But what I'm thinking, when I found this, what I'm thinking is, can I have a second for the dress, please?
Can I hear a little commotion for the dress? A little bit?
It just looks so good. Instead of making it like a really like throwy kind of throw, because I don't know, throws, you know, they like this. Did I just release a ton of dog fur into the world? I think what I want to do is I want to make it more of like a tummy time playmat thing where you have this quilted with like the thickness of this stuff that I showed y'all a second ago. With the lines, the quilted lines, and then this on the other side of it. I think that's what I want to do. We shall see. This is going to be a very long project. This one is going to be probably the longest project that I have going on. But I think it's going to be worth it. And why do okay. I'm going to hate myself for this. Do I want to make this into a circle mat? We are going to visit that another time. It's incredible. I'll do this for the thumbnail. You thought I was done? You don't know me. You don't know my life. And I know I said that I was going with like the Muppet Show theme, and I will be, but a lot of like the accessories and fun little things I want to make more Sesame Street themed. And what better way to do that than to find some discontinued Sesame Street fabric? Yarn.
Either way, great progress for Bebe.
I found something that was discontinued, and I can understand why it was discontinued because I'm sure it wasn't that popular. But then again, now that they've discontinued it, it's like the Van Gogh effect. It is popular. Called a One Hat Wonder from Lion Brand. You can find these on eBay, on Depop, Vinted, Sesame Street Lion Brand One Hat Wonder. And one of these skeins is supposed to make one hat for a child, but I thought to myself, why not make them into a lovey instead? Because I saw pictures of this. I don't think I have a picture here. Right here. It looks a little, I'm not knocking anybody. Me personally, it looks a little odd that you're making the head of this guy as like the pom-pom on top. At least add some little fluffies or something. It just looks weird that it's just like sitting smack dab on top of it. I don't know. But making it into a lovey, I will say, I had the idea myself and then I Googled it. And of course, nothing is an original experience, is it? Because somebody else also had the idea. These colors are really, really cute. This is the Cookie Monster one. I don't think I'm going to keep all of them. I think I might crochet them all into loveys and then give like 2 of them away to friends who also have babies. This is Elmo. That's terrifying. Unpopular opinion, Elmo's not necessarily my favorite. My favorite members of Sesame Street are Bert and Ernie and Count Von Count. And I'm not sorry. Oh, and Grouch. Oscar the Grouch. And then of course you got Big Bird, which these colors are really fun. They're really cute. Okay, I might remove these because that's easy to bite off and pull off. The rest of the stuff, so far it's looking like that's baby safe, you know, that's baby safe. But his little tuft of hair there, it's like a stiff felt, like flat craft felt that they've stiffened. I think I might have to take that off, but I might like put some, I don't know. One that I started is Oscar the Grouch, and this one, his little hat does want to come off, and unfortunately, quality control wise, doesn't look that great. I think what I'm gonna do is stitch it down, and like put it like a little wonky there. Crocheting one already. This is Oscar's. I'm only like halfway through, the yarn. I'm just doing a simple granny stitch, granny square, and then I think maybe I've got a shit ton of yarn. I think what I might do is just get a white yarn and do like a scalloped edge at the end once I'm through all of this. But this works up fairly quickly. I did this in an evening, not even a full evening, just like in an hour. So yeah. So that's that. And I know you're thinking at this point, Litha, what else could there be? And this is my confession. I have been thrifting baby clothes. I am a woman who's losing her grip on reality. Have you found the needle yet? Because I haven't. One thing that I've been wanting to thrift, and this is before I get into the next part of this, I'm going to put this out there to the universe. And we're going to manifest it together. I have been looking for, and this is a Facebook marketplace hope and dream that I have. I have been looking for a trunk, a chest. Pictures as examples. I really want one from like the 90s, those really like solid pine ones that you can put your blankets in or your seasonal wear in. And I really, really want one to start storing the thrifted baby clothes that I've thrifted. And I feel good about doing it because there's way too many baby clothes in the world. There's too many clothes in the world in general, number one. And number two, these are all things that I mostly found on Vinted. These are specifically from moms who are selling their babies' clothes because their babies are growing so fast and they need to buy them new ones. So I was like, I will help you out, girl. Don't you worry. Take my money. I want a chest to store them in, and then eventually I want to be able to like put it in the nursery and use it as like a toy box or blanket chest or maybe even like a dress-up box or something. I don't know. And I found one and it was perfect, and it was only 20 bucks, and it was on Facebook Marketplace, and it was only up for 16 hours. And I messaged the lady and I was like, and she said it's pending. Pending pickup. I've been on the lookout for this for about 2 months now. So if you see one and you're in, am I this desperate? If you see one and you are in Nova, telegraph, tell a friend, tell a woman, because I need it. I need it so badly. Do I? Probably not. That will give me space to get more thrifted baby clothes, and I don't know if my marriage can withstand that. Joking. Why does it look like that emo guy from 2009 who wanted to look like Mikey Way and never texted you back?
Time to call your mom and say, it's not a fucking phase.
I'm gonna put these away for now until we find a trunk to put them in. And let's get into some crafting, and I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about the astrology of the moment. Yeah, cool. Dog fur runs my life. Grab some tea, and I think I'm going to work on the crochet for a little bit right now. It really helps me. I've been taking the month off to just decompress from the amount of readings that I've done over the past few months. And this has been really nice. First, I need to respond to some people because I do this thing with some people who, you know, are close to me, who are friends, or just people who are friends of friends that I think need a little bit of encouragement or reassurance or something. Whenever something big astrological happens, I tend to like go around and send them little voice memos just to kind of give them a little bit of a boost. And I have one back. I might respond to these first.
Oh, girl, good. Hey, my love.
Long-lasting foundations instead of like making shit work because I just want it to work. Does that make sense?
All right, girl. Get your snacks, get your craft supplies or your crosswords. I don't know what the fuck you do, okay? I don't know what your life is, okay? This is mine. And we're gonna talk about Saturn. In astrology, every planet represents an archetype, okay? For example, Uranus, yes, we can all giggle about it. Uranus is known as the Great Liberator. Mercury is known as the Communicator. Chiron, even though Chiron isn't a planet, it's an asteroid, but Chiron is known as the wounded healer. And Saturn, that son of a bitch, Saturn is known as the wise teacher, the cosmic mentor. But personally, for most of my life, Saturn has been a pain in my ass. Litha, can you say something nice about Saturn? Yeah. He does good work, okay? He's a stand-up guy. He really does want to help. He's just a really frustrating helper. Also, wait, hold up. Saturn loves for us to take things slow and is a little old-fashioned, so I think we need to change up the vibe here. Can we switch up the music? Slow it down a little bit? Much better. Saturn loves something like crochet and knitting, not because it's creative, but because it's an older art and it takes time to do. And when done correctly, it can be a very solid piece of material. Okay, sorry. Continuing. He really does want to help. He's just a really frustrating helper. Saturn is the daddy of the zodiac, okay? Transcendent of gender. He's the guy who is all about practicality and practical life lessons and doing things correctly so that you don't have to do them again. All kinds of boring shit like that. But also, let's be real, useful shit. I'll give you an example. An analogy, if you will. Imagine you're a teenager, you just got your driver's license, and you just got your first car, okay? And you're like, oh my God, I cannot wait. I'm gonna get the cute little car cover seats for it, or whatever it's called, the thing on the steering wheel that looks like Tinkerbell. I'm gonna go pick up my friends, and we're gonna go to, I'm dating myself here, but like, we're gonna go to Rita's Italian Ice. Then we're gonna go to the mall, we're gonna go walk around Claire's, like, you know, and then all of a sudden your dad, or if you don't have a good relationship with your dad, just imagine like a sitcom dad is standing there. He just like appears from nowhere. He's there and his hands are on his hips and he says, before you do that, did we ever teach you how to change a tire? And you're like, no, Dad, that's boring and gross. I don't want to learn that. I want to go do the fun things, the fulfilling things, the exciting things, the creative things, all the things. And he's like, well, you know, if you really don't know how to do that, you could find yourself in a position someday. And eventually he starts sounding like the teacher from the Charlie Brown cartoons. Wah, 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 wah. And, you know, the thing about Saturn is he's not going to force you to listen to him. So one day you may be out on the highway going, I should have listened to my dad. I don't know how to change a fucking tire. One day, after you have gone through that horrible experience, being stuck on the highway in the heat of summer, right outside Florida's Alligator Alley, where there are signs up about, you know, be aware of panthers and things. I'm not speaking from specific actual real life experience or anything like that. You go to get into your car, you're going to go to the movies with your friends or something fun, and your dad shows up and he says, hey, remember a few months ago you got stranded out on the highway. I really should teach you now how to like change a tire, you know, what number to call if you need to call in, like what you do if you get into a fender bender. Maybe we need to teach you like what you would do, like write down your insurance information, you know, show you where the thingy is where you do the oil changing thing. I don't fucking know. Did I listen? No. And you're like, Dad, please, you're killing me. You're killing me, Dad. But that's who Saturn is. Saturn is going to keep showing up and being like, remember, I need to teach you that thing you don't want to learn. Saturn also can be looked at through a slightly different lens, maybe a little more whimsical. One of my favorite astrologers, Jessica Lanyadoo, she is a triple Capricorn who, I probably should say that, Saturn rules Capricorn. So if you have Capricorn rising in your chart, if you're a Capricorn rising, you are Saturn ruled. That's your chart ruler. Isn't that fun? If you have any significant Capricorn placements, that be where Saturn energy lies in your chart. Why am I a pirate all of a sudden? Anyway, Jessica Lanyadoo likes to equate Capricorn / Saturn to Mary Poppins. The lessons that she brings aren't necessarily exciting or fun, but she makes them exciting and fun because Saturn, Capricorn, also can bring a little bit of magic to the mundane. Okay, so if you're like, oh my god, I've got like such strong Saturn energy in my chart, I sound so boring, just think of Mary Poppins. Okay, that's another side to this, another way of looking at it. Or you could combine them, and maybe you're more of like a Mrs. Doubtfire type. We're gonna move on. Wherever Saturn is transiting your chart, meaning wherever it is hanging out up in the sky, it can really bring a lot of frustrating energy to that area of your life, which is one of the reasons why I've been, gnawing at the bars of my enclosure, is because Saturn has been hanging out in my first house, driving me crazy for the past 3 years. And within those 3 years, 2 of them were waiting to try for a baby. So Saturn, I know you had your fucking hands in this, okay? I know it. Because Saturn loves a slow lesson, okay? Saturn loves taking your time to do things the right way. Slow and steady wins the race. Saturn is also concerned with long-lasting stability, building things that last beyond us, building really good foundations for the things that we want. So for me, as an example, with Saturn transiting my first house, it was all about that, plus the first house themes. My identity, what I embody in this life. It's in Pisces. My rising is Pisces. So Saturn also wanted me to identify my spiritual side and embody that, which, hello, I'm an astrologer and a tarot reader now. Let's go. And I am much more myself. As I'm talking about this, I really understand how good Saturn was for me in my first house. And see, that's the thing with Saturn, y'all. Saturn is one of those transits that happen to you where you're like, I never want to go through that again. But I'm so glad it happened. But don't ever put me through that again. So no, I would rather not have the things that I was dealing with the past 3 years happen to me ever again. But if they hadn't happened, I wouldn't be where I am now. Realizing that I wanted to be a parent, realizing that I wanted to have children, realizing that there were certain things going on in my life that just weren't working. And Saturn is really good at pointing those out. Because if something isn't stable or sustainable in the area of your life where Saturn is transiting, Saturn's going to tell you. And Saturn's going to say, this can't go on anymore. For me, I had a lot of health issues, which Saturn is not really all about that as much. And neither is the first house. That's normally the 6th house. But a lot of my health issues came from masking who I really was, from being whoever anybody needed me to be in the moment. First house themes of identity. And Saturn said, well, hey, wait a second. If you're really going to step into what you are called to in this life, you really can't be abandoning yourself anymore. And I didn't really listen. And I kind of continued doing what I was doing, putting myself into burnout, putting myself into situations that didn't serve me or my nervous system or my future goals or hopes or dreams or anything. And then Saturn said, okay, and then the consequences happened. First house, consequences. Masking, fallout. All of the things that I was feeling and absorbing from all of that internally, chronic stress, chronic anxiety, unresolved trauma, that started to show up as autoimmune-like conditions in my body that then spread all over my body and all over my face. I won't get into it much more, but if you've seen the first season of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, you would see that one of the women on that show, Michaela, experienced the very same thing. I don't know her reasons for why she experienced it, but I know mine. And so I literally became allergic. Basically, my body began reacting to in an inflammatory and allergic way to the effects of not living in my own reality, the stress of trying to keep up with everybody else, not addressing my nervous system, not having a spiritual practice to decompress my nervous system, not accepting that there were certain things that I was doing that put so much pressure and stress on myself that it was literally making me sick. Thankfully, I am on the other side of that because Saturn, I listen to that guy. I listen to him, y'all. And he knows shit. He really does. I don't love him. He's not a good time. He's not someone fun to bring to a party like Uranus or Jupiter or Venus. But, you know, he's a good guy. I can't stand him, but he's a good guy. So over the time that those things happened to me, I started to address what was going on. And now, on the other side of it, I am finally in a body and living a life that is way more aligned and more authentic and good for me, basically. Now, please do not hear this and think, oh my God, when Saturn hits my first house, I'm going to be covered in autoimmune rashes and horrible things like that happened to Litha. No. Everybody's different. Okay. Everybody's different. It's just how it manifested for me. I also had some other stuff going on in my chart that contributed to it. Okay. Neptune also being there in my first house, Neptune, where boundaries are disintegrated and we lose our sense of self if we don't mind our perception and our relationships and our possibility of like losing ourselves and other people if we don't feel grounded in our own bodies and in our own nervous systems and yada yada yada. There was a lot going on, but Saturn was a huge part of it. Saturn is why I have been losing my ever-loving mind, because just fucking let me get in the car and go with my friends to the mall, Dad. Stop telling me about all the things. I learned the lesson. Okay, leave me alone. Okay, but just one more thing, Dad. See what I mean? So if you are going through a Saturn transit, whether it is the famed Saturn return or Saturn going through your first house or your second house or what have you, what I would suggest is that you allow for things to take their time. Saturn is there to teach you something, not because you've done anything wrong, because honestly with Saturn, it's very much, it can be that feeling of Saturn's here to teach me a lesson. Why? What did I do wrong? Why am I being punished? That's just Saturn's vibe, unfortunately. That's the vibe he brings to the function. Even though things can feel really dramatic when Saturn is transiting parts of your chart. I mean, like for me, right? Full body rashes, autoimmune conditions, what the fuck? Very dramatic stuff. Really what Saturn is trying to point out are very grounded and practical things. Saturn doesn't bring the drama. The drama comes from what we've already been doing that is about to have fallout or doesn't work anymore or just hasn't been serving us. Saturn's just there like, yeah, see? I was just trying to teach you how to change a tire. You ended up on the highway with gators. The animal, not the football team. I don't want to talk about it. So yeah, that's my little chat, my little yap about Saturn. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments.
Before I end this video, I posted a message on my Instagram at litha.tv if you want to follow me there.
I posted a little video saying, hey, if you have any questions, please let me know and I will answer them.
And I have a few. right here. What does it mean to have a 6th house moon? There are 12 houses in astrology. If you cut the wheel in half long ways, the bottom 6 slices of pie are the more personal to you, introverted houses, private houses, and then the upper 6 are the public, more public facing extroverted houses, so to speak. So the 6th house is in the bottom 6. And quick and dirty explanation, it has to do with your day-to-day life, your day-to-day routines. You wake up, you let out the dogs, you make the coffee, and also where we show up in service to other people and our health and our body. So your moon sign being your emotions, your emotional experience in this life, and where you feel the most safe and secure, has a lot to say about being in the 6th house, no matter what the sign is. I am actually a 6th house moon, so I get it. We feel our emotions in our physical body more so than the average person will. I mean, everybody feels their emotions in their body to an extent, and a lot of us, if our emotions are really negative, they can affect our health after a while. But those of us who have a 6th house moon tend to feel it a lot sooner. Especially if you have a fire moon like I do.
Isn't it amazing how I can feel so bad and still look so good?
Another thing is with 6th house moon, 6th house luminaries, is that's what we call the sun and the moon, or the luminaries. You need a lot of alone time, a lot of decompression time, a lot of time to yourself. Anybody who has a luminary in the 6th house or the 12th house, so your sun or moon in the 6th or the 12th house, you tend to be people who just need a lot of decompression time. You're also somebody who really loves your ritual, your routine. Even if it changes up, it's something that makes you feel safe and secure and held in your day-to-day life. Next question. Is it true that what's meant to be will actually be? Deep question. It's an understandable question. It depends on how you look at the world and how you practice astrology. My form of astrology that I practice is called humanistic astrology. It's something, the reason I'm drawn to it is because it is very empowering. We don't necessarily, through humanistic astrology, we don't really look at all events in life as being fated. And very few things, I say this a lot to my clients, very few things are actually fated that I've experienced and that I've seen in other people's lives and other people's charts. There's a lot of, here we go, there's a lot of free will involved, and that is both very freeing and exciting and frustrating for everybody. If you have free will, so does everybody else.
Just don't have the energy for this. I am unsubscribing from this drama.
And it's shitty, and it's amazing, and it's horrible, and it's great. Here's the other side of this, though, that fucks with me all the time. And I lie awake at night thinking about it. Things are meant to be because they happen, and we don't have a time machine. So maybe it's all fated at the end of the day. Next question. My camera is telling me it's about to die. Uh-oh. We'll make it 3 questions. We'll end on 3. Third question. Okay. Can you talk about the February eclipse? The solar eclipse. I can, and I probably should make a separate video about that. Maybe I'll make it for my Instagram. Be in observation mode. Rest. Don't manifest. Rest, don't manifest. Usually I do things on my Patreon where we do a new moon meeting for the Sisters of the New Moon. I'm talking really fast because my camera's about to die. I might have to switch cameras, which may be jolting for people, and I'm very sorry. We do this thing called the Sisters of the New Moon, where we look at our charts where the moon is hitting us each new moon every month, and we harness the moon's power. We attempt to manifest our hopes and our dreams. Don't do that during the solar eclipse because the energy is bonkers, McGee. Don't do that. Can I talk about it? What do you want to know? What do you want to know? I will make a separate video talking about that. Maybe I'll do one more because my camera hasn't died yet. Okay, we'll do 4. Oh, it's blinking. Oh, it's gonna die. No, it's jolting. We're just gonna have to deal with it. The last question that I have is kind of similar to another one that I answered before, but it'll help me to expand a little bit. The thing about predicted events or predicting events, can you predict certain events with
astrology. Yes and no, friends. Am I covering up the mic? Did we really predict it? Or was it pattern recognition, baby? There are astrologers who are really good at predicting things. Lori Rivers. For me, I like forecasts. I love that other astrologers call them forecasts. I love that that's like a really common thing in astrology because I like to be able to give someone the temperature of the room. I like to be able to tell them, hey, I see that it's going to rain. But therein you have choices. The thing that we are now looking at as astrologers that is coming up in a couple of days, February 20th, is the conjunction of Saturn and Neptune in Aries. Saturn and Neptune will be conjunct, meaning they will be at the same point at 0 degrees or 1 degree, I forget, of Aries on February 20th. And the last time that happened was when the Berlin Wall fell. And that's why a lot of people are like, whoa, talking about the Berlin Wall, because, you know, this hasn't happened since then. And that's a big deal. Now, at the time, it was not in Aries, okay? So when the Berlin Wall fell, when Saturn and Neptune were conjunct at the same exact degree, they were not in Aries, they were in Capricorn. Now let's look at this for a second. The signs can each go one way or the other. A really beneficial or benefic expression of a sign, and then its shadow side. It's not good side. It's less helpful side. It's more toxic side. And with Capricorn, that can go, the toxic side can go into the areas of patriarchy, of patriarchal institutions, of, you know, hard structure that is inflexible. Therein you have something like the Berlin Wall, and then also with Saturn, how do I want to put this? The element of Saturn, of Capricorn, specifically Capricorn, is rock, earth, brittle, dry, crumbly even. And then you have Neptune, which can instigate disintegration. The disintegration of boundaries. I was on the verge of being born. But when the fall of the Berlin Wall happened, I'm sure that there were astrologers saying, I feel like something's going to happen with that wall. Because when you put those pieces together, right, we can see things that could possibly happen, but we still don't have crystal balls. I want to giggle because I don't know, it's crystal balls. It is pattern recognition. It's understanding the relationships that that the planets have to each other, that the elements have to each other. It is also, though, a study of history. Fascinating and frustrating. But yeah, that's it. If you have, I'm sorry for the jarring shit here. If you have any questions, that's where the camera is. If you have any questions astrology wise, you let me know. You can put them in the comments. I will also probably post before I make another video with any questions about astrology or tarot on my Instagram. And yeah, I will be here losing my mind. I'm gonna go cuddle my dogs and clean my house. Bye-bye.